Hello, my name is Zachariah with Old Man Gaming, and welcome to another Astral Drive. Interesting stuff happening. Our actual play, our bi-weekly actual play. I've got to introduce the players that make this possible. Above me, playing the wonderful Jerrod Abrego is Aether Dios.
Good evening.
In the middle, our Buildmaster General, Philbilly330, playing Nulla Stonehand.
What's up, guys?
And then finally, last but certainly not least, our partner in all things TTRPG, Wizards Respite Ash, playing Alfred Whitecastle.
Howdy, folks.
Alright, we're going to get into this, guys. Like I said, just really quickly, we're playing in single mod. You guys can check that out on itch, and here we go. Nullus Alfred, you are in the truck. I'm going to say that... I mean, you're not going to want to have Rick hearing whatever conversation you're having, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So are you all in the bed of the truck then?
Yeah, I think
okay.
so.
Alright, so you're all sitting there. Yeah. Pickles is just kind of like... Yeah, Pickles knows all you. He's just kind of like... He actually is kind of like leaning out over the thing with his tongue out of his mouth. Just like some sort of dog out a window. Like... like that. But Santacano's just kind of sitting there waiting for somebody to talk. Kind of staring off into space.
Okay, yeah. I would... go in and start the conversation. Basically, just inform him, let him know, what the deal is. We are going to try to retake this ship. It was our assignment with the Heart Collective to take this ship out of our solar system. Things have gotten complicated. It was stolen, and the thieves have fallen victim to the sclera, this mind-altering disease. We need to get it back. I'm not going to say anything about Queen or Epsilon or anything like that.
You say all that, he looks at Nullus, then he looks back at you and he goes, "Is this the task Nullus Stonehand is going to do?"
I kind of look at Alfred.
Welcome.
Yeah, that is kind of our job.
He stops and he goes, "I owe Nullus Stonehand my life. I will aid you in your quest. I am Santa Cano." And then he kind of bows at you. "You may say it like Nullus does. I do not take offense that it is wrong."
Wait, it is? Santacano. Yeah, it's close.
He kind of looks at you and he chuckles, like he's legitimately not mad at you, you can tell, but he just kind of looks at you and goes, "You spit it out like you are late for something." Santa Ka No.
I'll work on that, buddy, I tell you.
No worries. No offense. So,
well,
Alfred Whitecastle, you are going to help me escape Genosis?
I can try. I'll be honest with you, things are going to be dangerous. I'm not going to lie to you. Do you think you can handle yourself in a challenging and potentially violent situation?
Yeah, I'll make a quick roll for Santa Cano. Wait, does he have? Okay. Santa Cano steps up to you and looks at you really closely. He goes, ah. And then just sits back down. And there's something about the that makes you very uneasy.
Might I inquire what you are perceiving to be our situation?
You confuse that response, not our situation, your situation. And from what I understand, don't think your people like to talk about such things. But you wish to ask me about something else. It is so hard to talk as this guy. It's so hard to slow yourself down that much. You just want to say it.
Yeah. But listening to it, like, I find myself wanting to talk like that. Oh no, that's not this voice.
Next game, we will all be green. It will be 5 hours per session.
Oh man, 3 greens. Just try to order a coffee. That's the entire session, right there.
There's a group known as the Echelon of the End. I take it to mean you are aware of more things than I may necessarily be comfortable with, but there's little I can do about that at the moment. I ask, can you tell me of the Echelon, if you know anything? And what do you intend to do with the information you have gleaned in our meeting?
I do not know of this Echelon of the End you speak of. I cannot help you with that, unfortunately. I am still trying to explain, to come up with example of what I believe is happening to Nullus. Now, just a reminder, this has been a little while since we played. Nullus, I don't know if you remember the scene, but you woke up, he was there, he was trying to explain to you what he thought a scion was, and it was not conveying properly. Do you remember that?
Nah, honestly,
okay.
No, not really.
It was like right after you had woken up from the entire excursion with Vulgar, and you had kind of started to mention the Scion thing, and he had it seemed like he knew what you were talking about, but then he tried to explain it, and you were like, I don't understand anything of what you said, and he's like, I will try and find a better way to explain it, and he hasn't come up with one yet.
Okay.
Real quick, you guys went over all the summaries of stuff, but I do want to really quickly ask, Nellis, did you tell Alfred about Vulgar and the Scion? Or any of that experience?
Yeah, I think I would have gone into that with him.
Because we had definitely covered that you told him everything that happened with the green. I just didn't know if he would know what that was, you know?
Yeah, I think I would have got into it.
Okay, alright. So, Alfred, you are privy to all the Scion, Vulgar information sort of thing. So, Nullus is disconnected with his demon within right now.
Okay. you're trying to better understand or explain to him what you think is going on with him in regards to his situation and this entity that empowers his magic. Are you familiar with these types of entities?
Do you have linguistics?
I do.
All right, here's what I want you to do. I want you to roll linguistics. And I want you to linguistics and charisma. And I want that to be difficulty of 15. And basically, for the next 15 minutes or so, he's going to try and explain the same examples to you that he was trying to explain to Nullus. And you're going to try and use your knowledge of linguistics to translate that into what the fuck you know as facts. You know what I mean? Because he's going to use basically what happens. And this was, if I recall correctly, the whole problem with the translation in the first place is his words for things are different because he's just made up words for things. Greens are incredibly solitary travelers, so they just make up words for things. So he doesn't say the word demon. He says something else, and you have to figure out what that is. That sort of thing. So I'm gonna say just to save us the back and forth, I'm gonna say give me a linguistics roll, difficulty 15. If you pass it, then you'll kind of glean something from it, depending on how well you pass it. Okay?
Okay. I just rolled it, and I got a 16. Barely made it.
Okay. Nullus, you are present for all of this, and it is still going way over your head. But for some reason, you are getting kind of excited because you feel like Alfred is picking up a little bit of what this green is putting down as he talks. And Alfred's asking certain questions about certain phrases and certain things. So finally, you get it. You get the information. Here is what Santacano believes a scion is. Because he refers to demons as dark ones. Or because there aren't demons just walking around. So, to know what a demon is, you have to have, knowledge of Axiom and that magic. Demons, for the most part, are things inside of other people, so he calls them the Dark Ones. The Dark Ones are like demons corrupted. Basically, what he defines is if all life, when you die, goes into a pool of energy, right? And then when somebody gets born, a ladle is dipped into that pool of energy, gets dumped into somebody, right? That's how you end up with the demon born, right? We've already covered that in the past. We've already covered that, right? However, whenever something goes into the stream, just like water, through the power of kind of osmosis, it spreads out a little bit. That's another reason that the Volgar in Nullus isn't an exact replica of the Volgar. He is a diluted version of Volgar. He's just a good chunk of Volgar put into Nullus's spirit. You following me so far?
Yeah.
A scion is a demon that has figured out how to reverse engineer that. And basically, when they went into the water, they spread themselves out and connected themselves with all the demons. So every demon born is connected to the scion. Meaning that the scion can turn them into their own people, basically, whenever they want. Okay. So this specific demon just left enough of them, basically, behind so that they could have the presence of mind to be who they are. Then when they got dipped and dropped into another person, they had enough of themselves just spread out and attached to all the other demons. So now they know how to just basically access other demons inside of other people, other demon-born, basically. Turn them on and off for their own power. They can control them. They are connected to them. And that's what Santacano believes a scion is, for the most part. And I'm assuming Alfred relays all this information to Nullus.
Yeah.
Big revelation.
So I'm completely cut off from whoever that is in my head then.
Santacano looks at you and goes, "You don't want to be connected to them. They are connected to..." And then he kind of looks at Alfred, kind of trying to use Alfred's word now, almost kind of picking up what Alfred was putting down, and goes, "Scion." So, like, Nullus, you're kind of picking up that, like, that's the reason Volgar's is scared. That's the reason he went crazy, is because this Scion was trying to activate him. That's why he was attacking you, basically, and trying to take your body over. When you got it back and he decided to hide inside you, he's hiding inside you because at any point in time, the Scion can access him again and potentially take your body.
So he is still in me, though?
Yeah. He's just hiding deep inside you so that the Scion can't get to him. And that so in fairness, that's what he said to you before he left. He was like, "I gotta hide."
So so what I didn't realize is, you know how when I was in the dream, I couldn't, to use the blood magic, I had to actually hurt myself?
Yes.
So basically right now I would still have to do that?
Yes. You have to hurt yourself. You can't use him right now. You have to hurt yourself to actually cast the blood magic.
Okay, gotcha.
This only started when we came to Genesis. Is there a spatial equation that we're not aware of? Does the Scion need to be within a certain distance before it jumps to another host or another touched?
You say that to Santacano, and he kind of looks at you and shrugs, because honestly, he just looks at you and goes, "Honestly, these theories, not necessarily fact, never heard of this before, never experienced this before. Just believe it's possible with what I know of how universe works."
Well,
like, you get the idea that he's just kind of like, "This is what I think's going on, just given everything I've seen in my very long life. It's not necessarily fact." Which jives with what Volgar said to Nullus, which he said, I didn't even think this was possible. Like, it's a myth. It was a myth to demons, if you could believe that.
okay. This would explain why the cult leader that Abrego is tangled up with is suddenly possessed by a demon.
What?
What is his name?
Pelton.
Pelton, that Pelton fella.
Bless you.
Thank you. You came across another one like me?
I believe so. I don't think he's tied into the same entity that has been causing your nose issues. But yes, he's quite powerful, and he attacked us, captured Abrego, and I think overwhelmed Pelton.
Well, shit, you should have just used the capsule I gave you.
Well, hindsight's 20/20.
Too much time in between sessions. Forgetting details.
I didn't know that was a demon. I didn't know that was a demon inside your head. I mean, I kind of thought, but the point is, we do have a weapon against this creature. I had not considered that. Be? The ether that separates the demon's sway over the host. We might. Yeah, you're right. We can use that against Pelton if we can get close enough to him.
That is true. Also, maybe just being close to him would have this thing that's attacking my demon try to attack his. Is that how this works, Santacano?
Santacano shrugs. Not sure exactly how any of it work, really. But if Dark One in your head is scared, don't think Dark One in your head can stop him.
I think the demon possessing Pelton might be the one that's attacking your vulgar demon that's been empowering you. I think that's the thing that's been attacking him. It's so hard not to do that voice every time you do that, Zach.
Sorry. Just wait till Croak gets back in the scene.
Maybe we could... This could be a good thing, then, Alfred, because, as they say, killing two birds with one stone, if I'm able to find a way to help Vulgar within me, maybe he'll let me go. Like, he owes me.
Well, you know him better than I do. Obviously.
Yeah, and even my knowledge of him is somewhat limited. He's one minute I think he's on my side, and the next minute I think he's just using me. It's hard to put my finger on. There's also a whole question of is he a god, isn't he a god? It's a little confusing, to be honest with you.
I think it might be best if we just kill them all.
I hope you mean all the demons, not all the demon touched, Alfred. Because I'll put up one hell of a fight.
Well, not you, obviously.
It'd be great if that was the final twist and Alfred was actually the one behind the echelon of the end. Obviously, that's not true, everybody out there. I couldn't have pulled that off. All right, you guys kind of, at this point, you pulled up to the city. You guys pulling up to the spaceport. And you kind of come across Croak's ship. Croak's ship it doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look good. It just kind of looks like the rundown 85 Bronco of the spaceship world. Like, that's what it looks like. Like, it's definitely got its rust spots. It's definitely not a newer model, but it definitely looks like it'll fly, that whole thing. You also see Croak standing with an Arma, just this, like, older female Arma, probably, maybe not around his age, because you're honestly not sure that he's not 1,000 years old. But she's definitely an elderly lady. She has kind of like a long coat on, which is weird looking because of her shell, but she has this kind of like long coat on that comes down to her hands, and then kind of like long pants on. And the coat actually almost has like the coat's almost like a duster that comes down to her knees. In her belt, she has like this large shillelagh that could basically be a hammer because it's a shillelagh made for an Arma. She kind of giggles at Croak, like tickling her real quick, and then he sees you guys pulling up. And Nullis, you see this as the pickup truck comes up, and Ricky goes, "All right, here's a spot. Hope you guys got what you need, but I'm off duty. Everybody out." And Croak turns around and he goes, "Oh!" And he starts to kind of wander over. Croak, I don't know if anybody remembers the description of Croak. Old man. White hair, big glasses, kind of hunched over. He has one arm, and it is just his left arm or right arm? I can't remember. I think it was just his right arm. Just his right arm. And there's a big ass revolver kind of hanging at his belt. He just kind of like starts to walk over towards you and he goes, Al! About time you got back. I was thinking you didn't want to go anymore.
No. I've retrieved my aid. We're ready to go immediately.
Holy shit, is that a razorback? And then Pickles kind of claps down and goes, ah! God damn.
That would be his razorback. May I introduce you to Nellis? He will be assisting on this. And Santacano.
Croak walks right over to Nellis and like points in your face, Nellis, and goes, "Your dad owes me 50 G! 50! G is just like dollars. I think it's actually Ven. I can't remember what the currency is, but something like that. I'm gonna take it out of you, but you make sure you tell him. Croak said he owed me 50! 50!
What's he owe you this for, old timer?
Poker game! And
I believe you, and I'll tell you, if we make it through this, I'll pay Pop's debt off for you.
He nods, he goes, "You're a good kid. You're a good kid." And then he turns towards Santa Cana and goes, "Oh, you brought cactus! Damn, Al, you got a lot of weird friends."
I kind of like look at Alfred and I'm be like, dude would be a whole lot more pissed off if he knew what the bar he played poker looks like right now.
Santa Cana walks up to Croak and goes, "It is good to meet someone who may be as old as me." Croak looks up and goes, "In spirit, I'm pretty sure I'm goddamn older than you." And then he shakes Santa Cana's hands, and then he turns around, he looks back at Alfred, and he points at the Arma, and he goes, "That's Mavis! She's coming with us!"
And what is her role in our endeavor?
Other than being a cutie pie? And then he turns towards her. And just remember, she's an Arma. She is like 2 feet taller than Croak, but he still does like the weird flirt finger hands at her, and she kind of turns and does the same thing towards him. Everybody though, give me awareness perception on Mavis.
I'm gonna go ahead and use a momentum.
To gain an extra dice roll?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was... Okay, that's much better.
Perception, 13, 14, 16.
Okay.
24.
Okay. Alright. Wow. Alright. Nellis. Mavis is very flirty with Croak, but you definitely... You know somebody who knows what they're doing when you see them. And Mavis ain't no joke. She's not a barfly that's just like wanting to bang an old man for no reason. Like that's not what Mavis is about. Mavis is here for a reason. You're not exactly sure what. There is a haggardness to Mavis's face that actually almost kind of reminds you of yourself in some ways. Just dealing with something for a really long time that you're sick of dealing with. Like, that's the kind of feel you get for her. Alfred, you get very much the same of what Nellis did. However, you also, because you rolled so ungodly high, also take a momentum. You also notice that under the right sleeve, there is a bulge on the right forearm that can only be a Nexal implant.
A Nexal implant?
Yes, person who has who 2 years ago read the book and hasn't had a chance to in a long time. The Nexal implant is Genesis's magic. Genesis constantly erates this particle called, I think it's like Nexal Radium or something like that. They're magicians, basically. They are able to kind of like use this kind of almost unreality to kind of do crazy shit. The natives used it all the time for like fire and stuff. They were shamans and whatnot. When the pilgrims got there with their technology, they were like, we could use it too, but we could put technology to it. So they have what's called a Nexal implant. It goes into your right arm, on your forearm. It has kind of like a whirling click every time it's used. Basically what it does is it absorbs Nexal energy from around them and then allows them to dispel it in bigger, more scary kind of spells. So basically she is Genesis's spellcaster, so to speak.
Okay. So yeah, I asked what her role is on our.
Oh, that's right. He goes, I'm being a cutie pie. He does the cute fingers, then he looks back at you and he goes, I always like to take someone along who's got my interests at heart. Any scavenge that comes around, bring it back so we can make some extra money on it. Don't worry. She ain't gonna be a detriment. She'll follow all your orders, but it's not negotiable. I always have somebody along for the ride.
Very well. Then shall we begin our journey? Are you ready?
Oh, hell yeah. Let's go do this. Suicide mission, oh! Woo! And then he walks over, he whacks Mavis on the butt, which looks like a dangerous, thing, but Mavis actually grins at it, and then he walks by up the thing, and then Mavis just kind of walks up, kind of looks at you all, nods, and then walks up after him. And then I'm guessing you guys all go onto the ship. We're going to switch over to Jerrod again. Jerrod! So, you're getting packed at this point. You get a knock at your door, just as you're finishing.
I mean, it's not much packing.
It's not much packing. No. Not at all. That's why it was a short whatever. You go upstairs, you pack a couple more clothes. You're still not allowed to have a gun, so you pack a couple more clothes, and that's that. You finish packing the bag, and there's a knock at your door.
Yes, come in.
Raylaid walks in. Raleigh walks in. She kind of steps forward with a very sure glide to her feet. And she goes, Acolyte Brago?
Chaplain? To what do I owe the pleasure?
Look, I'm not gonna lie. I heard that you've been off planet for some time, so you probably didn't hear about me. This is my second or third mission with the chaplains, and I'm the first Felly to ever successfully enter the chaplain program of the Church of Bartholomew. So, I don't know. I'm not trying to brag. I'm not here to do that. I just want you to understand how important it is to me that I protect you, the first Arma to ever get, to ever be next in line for High Father.
Yes, it is a lot of pressure on everyone. I can understand. Thank you.
I really want you to give me a perception awareness on her. Difficulty is only a 10, and it's non-contested.
Super useful. Natural 20.
Do you have luck with this character?
No.
Oh, never mind then. Sorry.
How often does this happen for me?
Okay. Something that really you enjoy about Raleigh is she does not seem corrupted in any way, shape, or form. She seems truly here just to protect you, like 100% that's it. She doesn't seem to be like an agent of Zalanx or some sort of weird thing from Pelton. She, unlike Kelly, she doesn't seem like she's going to poison you and try to kill you with a machete. She seems genuinely here to protect you and honest about that. The fact that you are a non-human potential High Father in Matthias is very important to her, and she's taking that very seriously, even though you know it's all bullshit. She's taking it very seriously.
It's both extremely comforting and extremely sad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's just he's trying to go through it. Like at this point, it's tough. Like pretty much everybody, like very few people here, he's pretty sure are necessarily part of any specific thing. As well, yeah, it's sure is great being part of this thing.
She nods. She's like, it's a true inspiration to anybody born outside of the Pilgrims who are looking for acceptance. So I just want you to know, I can tell you're worried, but as long as there is breath in my lungs, there'll be breath in yours.
Thank you. If there's something I've learned from being away, it's how quickly things can change. So I appreciate. I'm comforted by your presence, but and I hope for the uneventfulness of our trip.
She takes a deep breath and goes, if there's anything I've learned in my life, nothing is uneventful on Genesis. But I would not argue with a prayer for the opposite.
I'm not as familiar with the Bartholomew prayers, but something practical and safe would be nice this time.
Give me a knowledge charisma roll. I like this. A roll to prayer. Roll to prayer. Roll to pray.
And if I'm going to be fair, she should probably get a roll too.
Yeah.
Whereas like a knowledge perception.
She definitely will.
So that's charisma and what?
Charisma and knowledge.
19.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Take a momentum and then give me a real quick linguistics roll. Linguistics, charisma. Difficulty is going to be 15 though.
I need to hang out with her more. That's a 25.
Oh wow. Is this going to be one of those, I put her to protect you, but you end up doing all the protecting? Okay, so she rolled a 1 on her prayer thing. So when she goes to do the prayer, like you do fine with the prayer, when she goes to follow you with the prayer, she actually slips into Felly for a second and catches herself. Just given your really awesome rolls, you realize that she slipped into a... like, you don't know it super well because obviously you're not don't spend a lot of time being schooled in native tongues, but basically you kind of come to the understanding that it's like a Feli prayer of like, safety and good fortune and stuff like that. But she slips into it for a second, then cuts herself off, basically. But yeah, you finish the prayer, and then she kind of looks at you and goes, "Can I walk you down?" Hoping you didn't notice.
Yes. Of course, we do all have to be a little bit different from ourselves around others in this place. Hopefully not forever.
She kind of looks at you and kind of gets the idea that you picked up on it, and she's straight up and up front. She's a straight shooter. She just kind of looks at you and goes, "I think I know what you're talking about, and I did slip into it, but I'm going to say this right now. Whether old habits die hard or not, I am a Bartholomew chaplain through and through, and I don't want you thinking otherwise." I don't owe the Feli people a goddamn thing. And you can see there's, like, she's not trying to insult you. There's a real vitriol between her and her old people. You're not exactly sure what that is.
It's, I'm gonna intelligence and linguistics.
Okay. To do what?
I guess be a 14.
To do what? What are you trying to do?
I am trying to see if he's actually remembered
the prayer?
Yeah, to have
Okay.
the prayer, and also if he was paying enough attention to any of his native tongue, because I've let him get away with like family names and things,
Okay.
but to the second generation, essentially,
Yeah.
mostly common, but
Trying to see if you remember any of the Arma native
yeah, it's,
stuff. I gotcha.
it's
What'd you roll?
15.
Okay.
Sorry, 14.
Yeah, you could definitely remember the Arma prayers. What's interesting about this is your mom was always like kind of teaching you Arma stuff as a kid, as a very young kid, but only ever your mom and only when you were alone. And that stopped probably around your like 7th or 8th birthday. You're not exactly sure why. But you definitely have some experience with kind of the Arma, what was Arma tribal society before they were adopted into the Pilgrims, or absorbed, so to speak.
We all have society is, and family is where we make it, but there should always be a little room for the old ways.
Interesting. I'm gonna make her roll now because this is kind of undoing your relationship with her. Ooh, okay. You see her actually like grit her teeth a little bit. Like whatever you said there, she didn't like, and she goes. It looks like she's about to say something else, and then she almost takes a breath, and then she goes, "I bow to your wisdom, acolyte Abrego. Now, I do believe they're waiting for us," and then turns to walk out.
Thank you for your forthcoming. Alright, let us go.
Okay, as you guys head out, I want to give you one more roll before I'm done with you for tonight, and that is linguistics, intelligence, to decipher more of your journal on the trip out to this area.
Yeah.
What'd you roll? Because I need to get a momentum out of it.
You get a momentum out of it. You got a 6.
Oh, Jesus. Yes, I do. Okay, all right.
3 20s on unnecessary things.
There it is.
And then the 6.
There it is.
Let's
Always.
go.
All right, we're going to switch back over to Nellis and Alfred. All right, you guys get onto the ship. You see Croak start to type things in with his one hand, kind of like, and he just starts to kind of like mumble to himself. It is indecipherable garbage from what you can understand, but it's. I'm gonna actually make Nellis. You give me a resolve endurance roll with a difficulty of 10. But he just does it. Yeah. Oh man, I got it. Fucking shit. I don't know, man. I'm fucking back. Oh man, I just wish I could just go back to having sex with an armor, but I can't. I gotta fucking fly this goddamn ship. What'd you roll?
That's 12. Total 12.
All right, you keep it in check, but there's definitely like a double take at Alfred. Like, who the fuck is this guy, and why are you letting the one-armed psychopath fly us into space? Like, there's definitely like a moment of that. But you temper it. You're like, I don't know. Alfred wouldn't totally, put us in a situation where we're immediately going to die before we get a chance to do anything. Nonetheless, you are very uneasy as the ship lurches to life, almost like a kid learning how to drive stick shift. It does kind of this like 2 kind of lifts as it lifts up, and then he goes, oh shit, I forgot to goddamn, and then he hits a lever, and then everything kind of smooths out a little bit. And he's like, all right, everybody, here we go. And then he just fucking flies, like launches up. And then he turns around and goes, it's going to be about, you got about, given the coordinates you give me, got about 18 hours before we can make it there.
18 hours.
That includes the astral jump. Just given trajections, I got to find a place where the fracture zone isn't that bad, and then gotta make the jump. Plus,
is there any way we can make this a little faster? We're on a bit of a time crunch.
He looks at you incredulous. He goes, Sonny goddamn Jim, what did I tell you when I first met you? Don't ever question Croak's ability to fight, fuck, or fly. What do you think this part is? It's flying. If I say 18 hours, there ain't nobody in the goddamn solar system that can get you there faster.
Perhaps another seasoned pilot would be able to aid in some marginal manner to shave off an hour or 2.
Touch my ship, I'll kill you. Like, that is dead on the answer. He's...
Very well, Mr. Croak.
You actually get a hand on the shoulder, a large hand, and you hear kind of a soothing voice, and just like, if he says it's 18 hours, trust me, it's 18 hours. He'll get you there as fast as possible. I know the ship doesn't look like much, and no offense, the pilot doesn't look like much, but he is the best. He'll get you there.
Oh, Mavis, have you flown with Mr. Croak along?
He, I've flown with him a couple of times. He is, he can be fun. She says fun in kind of like a playful, like, please don't ask more questions about this subject.
Yeah. Right. All right. 18 hours. Very well. I look around the ship. Is there like, how big is the ship? Like, are there like?
It's a good sized cargo ship, because remember, this guy is a scrapper for most of his stuff. Like, that's what he does. So like, there's a lot of cargo holds. There's a lot of space. He actually he has bedrooms, like bunk bedrooms for anybody on it. So it looks like you're going to be bunking with Nellis and yourself, basically, as well as potentially Mavis, unless Mavis shares the one and only like full-size room that he has in the ship. And you can tell that Croak has like hollowed out all these places for cargo so that he can load more cargo. Croak is a diehard efficiency sort of person when it comes to this kind of stuff. So more stuff I could get back, more stuff I could sell, if you know what I mean. So yeah, so that's what you're dealing with. Santacano just kind of walks over. It doesn't look like he's going to need a bed. In fact, I don't think Nellis has ever seen him lay down. So he just kind of sits down in a chair and just kind of like stares off into the middle distance. Becoming a cactus again, basically.
Well, then why don't we settle in, Nellis? Why don't we take a look at the arrangements Mr. Croak has so kindly provided us?
You guys go to walk away. I want to only give this to one person, but I want it to be our teaser for the end of the episode. So I'm going to say lows Nellis, highs Alfred. Okay, it's a 5. It's Nellis. Nellis, give me a perception awareness check.
What's my difficulty?
10.
Okay, 12.
Okay. As you guys are kind of like walking away, Croak hits a rod wrong, and the whole ship bumps again. And Mavis actually kind of like stumbles to one foot as she does. And one of the things, she's holding something in her hand, and it kind of drops for a second. Only a second. She reaches out, grabs it, picks it back up. But Nellis, in that one little second, you get a look at it, and it is a picture of Jerrod Abrego as a child. And that is where we will end.
Oh, shit.
That is a cliffhanger for that episode. So let's do the sign off, because I'm pretty sure that was a good one. I'm happy with that one. And next time we play, it will be into the Scalara dungeon. And I'm gonna say it on the show now, because I wanted to say it this last time. So I'm not doing dungeons with maps anymore. I'm doing them like random generated charts. The first room was generated by none other than Philbilly's child.
Nice.
I let Aubrey roll up the first room, and just want you guys to know it's a doozy. I don't know if she just got the luck or what, but like, she was rolling, and I was like, oh, okay, okay, all right. So it's gonna be fun. Okay, but that's it. That's our show for the evening. So let's do the sign-offs. Jerrod, anything you want to plug, sir?
If you haven't watched our id playthroughs, go do that. If you haven't bought our game yet, also go do that. And watch everybody else's stuff. Next.
Nellis, anything you want to plug, sir?
Not a whole lot going on. We should be hopping back into TMNT Another Strangeness here in the next, I think, 2 weeks from today. So if you're able to catch that, join us as we hop back into that adventure as well.
Our actual next session is not going to be till November 7th, just because of crazy busyness stuff. That being said, not to correct you, sir, that being said, I am very much considering converting everything over to single mod, just because Palladium is getting very hard to do for me as a game master just once a month.
Seeing as how I lost everything for that character in my move and can't find it, that would be awesome time to do it.
That may have just clinched it. Wizard's Respite, Ash, what would you like to plug, sir?
As always, all of these episodes and all things that we're doing here with TTRPG can be found here, but also on the Wizard's Respite. The wizardsrespite.com is the website I run, dedicated to all things TTRPG, these shows, my blog where we go into all sorts of things for dungeon masters, game masters, content creators who are trying to make their own games. Please check that out. Also, we have just started selling t-shirts for their TTRPG themes. And yeah, that's what I got for tonight.
As for me, please, if you thought this game sounded in any way, shape, or form cool in any way, shape, or form, please go to itch.io, type in single mod, and you will come up with me. We also have a entire setting that is a gothic horror piece that we play an actual play-in that Wizard actually game masters that one. You can check that out as well. Everything's very cheap. Please purchase. Keep a small game company alive. As far as content, we have tons of stuff coming out. One thing I'm going to shout out real quick on these two shows is the fact that I have a new show coming out at some point in the nearest future, probably within the next month, called Let's Talk About Your Character. Let's Start With Your Name. And basically the show is me just interviewing somebody about a TTRPG character that they loved or were interested in. And my goal right now is to get everybody who is in any way, shape, or form on the channel in any way, shape, or form to do one of these episodes. Brian, I'm looking at you. You're coming up next. Phil, Billy. Actually, all three of you guys I still have to do. So keep a lookout for that. I'm very excited to do that. I'm specifically doing that for Wizard's Respite because I want some more TTRPG stuff up there. So, yeah, other than that, you guys can reach us on the Facebook at Old Man Gaming DH. You can reach us on the X at Old Man Gaming 9. You can, of course, check out, just like he said, everything Wizard's Respite has to offer at wizardsrespite.com, including these shows you can check out there as well. And then you can also join our Discord, links in the description below. As long as you guys keep watching, you keep listening, we'll keep making them. We'll see you guys next time.